Hi everyone, Aiden here with etrailer.com. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Titan chain cable snow tire chains here on our 2022 Ram 1500 Classic. So rather than a traditional bulky chain, these are going to be comprised of a series of cables, and these cross sections have these rollers over them. That's going to be a lot more low profile than a typical chain, which means it is going to be a smoother ride, but not as aggressive in those harsher conditions. So this is good for light snow, getting us that extra traction that we need. But deep snow and ice, you're going to probably want to go with one of those more traditional chains that has a more aggressive shape and bite to it. The ladder pattern style chain is good for starts and stops here. It will result in a somewhat bumpier ride just because sometimes we'll have tire contact, sometimes we'll have cable contact. But overall, because of the low profile design, it shouldn't be bad. You do get a fair bit of adjustability here with the series of studs and this lever arm in the front to kind of pull some tension on the chain. You can get a pretty snug fit on the tire. We always recommend having a rubber adjuster on there too, just to pull that extra slack out and provide a more constant tension. It is not provided with the kit, but we do have them available on our site down in the related parts below. They do come with a carrying case here, which is pretty big. Compared to the cable option from Glacier chains, this carrying case is a bit bigger. Still about the same quality though. These aren't my favorite method of holding tire chains, but they are a lot better than the canvas bags that some of the other chains come in. Those canvas ones tend to rip and tear over time. My one complaint with these is that it's hard to get the cables back in, especially once you unpackage them. They just don't roll up quite the same, at least not super easily. I would recommend just getting a plastic tote just to keep them in because it's going to be waterproof and a bit bigger for you and easier to get them stored up. Getting them installed is also pretty straightforward, so check out how we did that now. Now the first thing we want to do is lay out the chains and make sure that everything is laying flat. We don't have any tangles or anything like that. Typically these cable chains are pretty okay, but you just want to check to be sure. And then the other thing we want to be sure of is that this lever arm is on the outside of the tire. We're going to be draping this over the top, so we'll go ahead and do that now. If you want to, you can also drive onto the chain and connect it that way. So what we're going to do is just drape it over and try to get it relatively centered. The rollers make it pretty easy to move kind of front to back, but you also want to make sure side to side that it's even too. Once you've got it where you like it, you can go around to the back and we can make our first connection. So in the end by me, we're going to have a portion of the cable with these studs on there. And then on the portion closest to the camera, if I can go and grab it, you'll see we have this catch plate here. Basically the studs are going to feed through the larger portion of that catch plate like this. And we want to feed as many through as we can while getting a nice even fit on the tire, and that will hold it tight. We also have a secondary catch plate up here for holding the excess cable. So I'm actually going to feed one more through just so we can reach that a bit easier. And then you can feed your excess through there just to hold it nice and snug. And then we can go around front and repeat this process up there. Up front we have that similar system with the studs and the catch plate. This one seems like it's pretty snug, so I might just start with one right now, and then we can pull this lever arm back, and that's going to pull some tension on the cable. Looking at that, I think we can maybe get one more stud out of it. Just like that. And now pulling that back, you can see there's a lot more tension being pulled on that cable. Just like that. Hooking that lever arm back secures it. And overall, things are fitting pretty well. You might need to go back and forth to get it to adjust more evenly, but we should be good to install the other side now. The other thing I'm going to do is install these rubber adjusters. These aren't included in the kit, but we do recommend them typically, just because they're going to help pull out any extra slack that you might have on the cables and just provide a more constant tension so you know they're going to be secure when you're driving around. Just go in a star-shaped pattern like this and try to spread them out evenly, and you can see already that is pulling those chains in quite a bit on the ends here and giving us a more secure fit. Once we've done that on both sides, we're ready to hit the road. And that'll do it for our look at these Titan chain cable snow tire chains here on our 2022 Ram 1500 Classic. Thanks for watching.